The pillars of power: authority, legitimacy, and stability. Power, at its core, is the ability to influence or control the actions of others. It's a fundamental aspect of human interaction, shaping societies and dictating the course of history. However, not all power is created equal. Raw power, often manifested through coercion or force, is inherently unstable. While it can achieve immediate results, it lacks the foundation for long-term endurance. True, lasting power relies on something more: authority and legitimacy. Authority is the recognized right to exercise power. It signifies that those subject to power accept the leaders or institutions' right to govern. This acceptance can be formal, enshrined in laws and constitutions, or informal, based on tradition or social norms. Consider a dictator seizing control through military might. They may possess immense coercive power, capable of enforcing their will through fear. However, their authority is often brittle, resting on a shaky foundation. This is because dictatorial authority typically lacks legitimacy. It relies on fear and repression to maintain control, rather than the consent of the governed. This makes it vulnerable to internal dissent and external threats. Legitimacy goes beyond mere acceptance of authority. It is the belief that the exercise of power is rightful and justified. It's the conviction that the system itself is fair and worthy of support. Legitimacy is not just about accepting the individuals in power, but about accepting the system that put them there. This acceptance is crucial for stability and social order. Democracies, in particular, thrive on legitimacy. In a democracy, citizens grant power to their leaders through free and fair elections. This act of voting signifies a belief in the fairness and transparency of the process. It's an affirmation of the system's legitimacy. Legitimacy fosters stability because citizens are more likely to obey laws and participate in civic life. This holds true even when they disagree with specific policies or the individuals in power. They respect the system itself. In dictatorships, the absence of legitimacy necessitates a heavy reliance on brute authority. Without the consent of the governed, the regime must resort to coercion and repression to maintain its grip on power. This creates a precarious situation. Consider North Korea and the Kim dynasty. Their rule is maintained through a pervasive cult of personality, relentless propaganda, and severe punishment for any sign of dissent. This is a clear example of authority without legitimacy. In such regimes, authority is constantly threatened by internal rebellion or external intervention. The lack of popular support makes them inherently vulnerable. The regime must always be on guard against challenges to its power. Democracies, in contrast, prioritize legitimacy as the bedrock of their power. They strive to create systems that are perceived as fair, just, and representative of the people's will. This is achieved through various mechanisms. These mechanisms include the rule of law, the protection of human rights, and the holding of regular, free, and fair elections. These elements work together to foster a foundation of trust between the government and the governed. In a democracy, authority is vested in elected officials who are accountable to the people. The legitimacy of the system, in turn, provides ultimate stability. This allows for peaceful transitions of power and conflict resolution through established channels. Revolutions represent a dramatic shift in the balance of authority and legitimacy. They arise when existing power structures lose their legitimacy in the eyes of a significant portion of the population. This creates a volatile situation ripe for upheaval. Revolutions occur when people no longer believe that the existing system is just or serves their interests. This loss of faith can be triggered by various factors, such as economic inequality, political repression, or social injustice. The old order crumbles. Revolutionaries gain power by challenging the existing order and establishing a new source of legitimacy. This new legitimacy can be based on popular support, a newly drafted constitution, or the promise of a better future. The old ways are swept aside,